back to News Geelong as we move into the world of Geelong sport with our own Mitch Scoop Cleary.
Thanks, Rollo. As the footy season starts to heat up, all the talk this week has been surrounding Joel Selwood's lifeline from the match review panel. As we look ahead to tomorrow's clash between Geelong and Melbourne at Simmons Stadium, Cats coach said the scrutiny surrounding his skipper was warranted.
Yeah, and fair enough too. He's been on the front foot with me and the rest of the team this week in that he put himself in a vulnerable position with the match review panel and was fortunate to get away with it. He understands he's very much in control of his own actions. He's going to be defended really aggressively every single week because he's such a good player. He's got to make sure that he reacts accordingly, and within the rules and within the spirit of the game. No, I think his reputation is absolutely intact as a ball player and one of the great contested players of the competition. If he puts himself in this situation again, then we all need to ask questions of ourselves. He was fortunate in this example. As I said, he got on the front foot with me. He's the first to admit it. And he needs to make a slight adjustment to how he reacts to defensive players off the ball.
Concussion blows is always a topic in football, and Scott said the club was concerned for all players, not just their skipper.
But certainly we're concerned about him, not just because he's one of our best players and our captain, but because he's a Geelong player, and we'll make sure that we take every precaution to make sure that when he goes out there he's fully fit.
Scott said the intensity of taggers has increased, but the ball winners have had it better than ever before.
I think it's gone up a little bit, yeah, but I read Ross Lyon's comments this morning and I agree with them completely. Life's never been better for midfielders. All the camera angles, the umpires are onto it. You get away with a lot less as a tagger these days than you have in the past, and I think everyone accepts that that's a good thing.
The Cats coach hailed the job of youngster Taylor Hunt as he shut down champion Simon Black last week.
Yeah, and look, Taylor Hunt is doing a similar role for us. It's not exactly the same as Lingy's role. It's not the same as some other defensive players in the competition, but I think he's probably been unfairly tarnished over the last couple of weeks. He is not a lockdown, defend at all costs midfielder. He works both ways. He's been fantastic for us the last 2 weeks. And on the weekend he played him, one of the best players in the modern era. And was very good offensively as well.
Scott said speedster David Wojcinski could play game 200 and is one of a number of VFL players pushing his cap.
Yeah, in my mind he's probably more likely, but we haven't had our main session yet, so that can change things significantly. I would expect him to be in our 25, that's for sure. We have a couple of guys that we'd like to think are pushing really hard for selection. Mitch Brown kicked 9 on the weekend. Oren Stevenson played really well as a ruckman. George Horn-Smith was our travelling emergency and was probably a little bit unlucky to go out. So we'd like to think that we've got some options and we've got some guys performing well at VFL level.
Thanks, Chris. Now we speak to Geelong VFL player Jack Shanahan as he prepares for the curtain raiser to the AFL match tomorrow against Casey.
Better start than last year. We lost the first 10, so it's good to get off a good start, and yeah, good for myself to get a few wins under my belt, yeah.
And playing last week, Bendigo, a very impressive win up on a newly sized Queen Elizabeth Oval.
Yeah, beautiful ground it was, beautiful luscious grass, and yeah, it was great to get the win. It's been a while since I've won by that much in a team, so yeah, it was good.
Jack, the sporting blood is in you, as your grandfather Ralph Shanahan, a great player with St Mary's. Samantha, his sister, is an Australian representative at Lawn Bowls, but you've taken to AFL, VFL like a duck to water.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, but yeah, I'd like to get go that next step and play AFL. So yeah, this is one path of doing it. Knights has been great for me this year, so yeah, he's given me plenty of opportunities, and yeah, maybe go that next step.
How have you found the step up from GFL to VFL?
It's not too dissimilar. Now, GFL is a very strong comp these days, and it is a little bit different with the structures and stuff like that. But GFL is getting better, and it's not too dissimilar these days.
And of course, you wouldn't be uncomfortable wearing the same colours and the same name as your former club, Larracats.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, it's good to wear the same colours, and yeah, absolutely.
And leadership on the ground, Troy Selwood, new captain this year, travelling very well.
He is. He's hard as a cat's head. Troy is, yeah, he stands up, and he's a true leader out there, and yeah, he's been good for me as well.
And your ideal position to your mind and your way of thinking into the season so far?
My position, I don't mind playing down forward, kicking a few goals, but Knights has been showed a bit of faith in me and put me in the midfield, and yeah, it's good to get in there amongst it as well.
And this week against Casey Scorpions, they have to make the long trip down from up at Casey Fields. It should be a good test, a curtain raiser here at Simmons Stadium.
Yeah, it should be a good day. I just looked at the weather forecast before. It looks like it's going to be a cold and wet one, but hopefully that stays away, and hopefully get a good crowd in before the AFL game as well.
And we encourage all Geelong Cats supporters to get down here at 10 a.m. to see the VFL play Casey Scorpions. It should be a good encounter, and of course the home ground advantage to yours.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to get back on skilled, and we've played a lot here this year, so we're very used to it. And like I said, hopefully the weather stays away and get a good crowd in.
Thanks, Jack. That's all we have time for in sport tonight. Have a great weekend and see you next week. Now it's back to you, Rollo.
Thank you very much, Mitch. And now for all the weather expected for Geelong and the Surf Coast over the next 6 days, let's look at the week ahead. Tomorrow, to start off the weekend, Saturday we'll see partly cloudy conditions with some isolated showers and a top of 18. To start off another full week of May, Sunday will continue with partly cloudy conditions, isolated showers and a top of 17. Monday will be partly cloudy with scattered showers clearing during the morning, then redeveloping at night and an expected top of 19. While Tuesday will continue with partly cloudy conditions with isolated showers and a top of 20. Wednesday will be partly cloudy with a chance of showers during the morning and a top of 21, while Thursday will see the partly cloudy conditions continue with scattered showers developing and a top of 20. Today we saw partly cloudy conditions with isolated showers contracting to the Surf Coast this evening with a top of 16. That's the weather outlook for Geelong and the Surf Coast. Thank you for joining us on News Geelong. To number 6 for the Carlton Blues, Cade Simpson. Happy birthday for tomorrow from Cogsy. And remember, Cade, take your time and smell the flowers. Don't move that dial, because coming up next, there's Darryl and the boys with a local footy show. And of course, tomorrow morning at 8 a.m, see the girls from the Geelong and District League Netball, followed at 8:30 by the biggest man in Geelong football, Big Dick Philpott, and the boys from the Geelong and District Football League footy show, and for your radio fix. Don't forget 94.7 The Pulse FM and the big game between Bannockburn and Anarchy. And on Vision Australia Radio 99.5 FM in the Geelong Football League from the West Oval, live and exclusive, Geelong West St Peters up against the Eagles from Newtown and Chewell. From all the team at News Geelong, enjoy the rest of the evening, have a safe and enjoyable weekend, a very good night.